February 14th, 2020. Today is Valentine's Day, the day of love, the day of romance, the day of mass consumerism of chocolate. I was all set to propose to Eliza today. I had a 5-course feast laid out, all made by yours truly. Candlelight for ambiance, a bouquet of English blue roses, her favorite, were waiting by the door so that I could give them to her when I picked her up from work. She was supposed to meet me at my apartment, but I wanted to surprise her. Turns out she surprised me. I pulled into the parking lot of the restaurant she worked at. Suit nicely pressed, wearing the cologne that she loved so much she would bury her head in my neck to breathe in. I had my whole proposal speech planned out. It was going to be perfect. I sat in the car for a moment trying to compose my nerves, trying to keep my hands from shaking. I checked and rechecked the ring I bought her. 2-carat princess cut, white gold band with tinier diamonds all around. This beauty cost me 4 paychecks, but she was worth it. She was worth everything. Swing Life Away by Rise Against started playing on the radio, and I had to smile to myself. I saw it as a sign that our song would come on the radio right when I was about to get out and make one of the biggest moves of my life. Until I looked up. The sight was like the biggest gut punch I've ever felt. I watched as the love of my life wrapped her arms around a guy I had known my whole life. My best friend, who would have been my best man at my wedding. The passionate kiss they shared was made worse by our song playing as a background to their public affections. I didn't know what to do. I wanted to go out and beat the crap out of him. I wanted to scream at both of them for their betrayal. They didn't even try to hide it. The sun beamed its last rays over all of us as it set. I would be proposing during this sunset where instead my best friend and girlfriend were having their own romantic love scene. I wanted to vomit. I wanted to put my car in drive and crash into both of them. I wanted to die. But instead I left. I drove off. As I backed out of the parking space, my girlfriend's eyes left his for a moment and landed on me. We just stared at each other for what seemed like an eternity. Then she and my ex-best friend started running towards me. I couldn't hear what they were saying as they shook their heads and waved their hands. It was denial and excuse drowned out by our song. Fuck them both. I parked in front of my apartment complex and got out with my sad bunch of roses, feeling like the dejected loser that I was. I barely even noticed her. As she stood there facing me, I walked up and handed her the bouquet. Here, happy Valentine's Day, I said to the random girl as I kept walking to my apartment. She said something. I guess it was, "Thank you, Caleb." I don't know. I didn't care. It never even dawned on me to ask how she knew my name. Whatever, life sucks. April 1st, 2020. I've been getting the weirdest messages all day today. Text messages from some unknown number thanking me for flowers. I have no idea who it could be. I think maybe I handed some girl the Valentine proposal flowers that I was going to give my now ex. I know her from somewhere, and it just didn't register that day. I can't even remember what she looked like anymore. Every time I try to picture her face, she's a blur in my mind. But whoever it is that's messaging me knows who I am. They address me by my name. I texted back and asked if that was the girl I handed the flowers to on Valentine's Day. She responds yes, and I'm trying for the life of me to recall her face, but I can't. She texted and told me that I was just as sweet as I was in high school, and that I had given her something on Valentine's Day then too. I have no idea who it is or what she's talking about. I spent the day going back and forth between figuring out who this girl was and maybe thinking that this was some stupid April Fool's prank by one of my friends. I don't recognize the number though. Her last text was, "We'll be together soon." I threw my phone on my nightstand. Had to be one of my buddies. Who else would try to freak me out like that? May 5th, 2020. It's Cinco de Mayo. Went out drinking with my friends. Hate my ex-girl. Hate my ex-best friend. Drowning my sorrows in a bottle of tequila and all-you-can-eat carne asada tacos. Got some more weird text messages from the girl I handed the flowers to. I'm kind of regretting that now. Why couldn't I have picked some kind-looking old lady to give them to? No, I had to choose the one psycho chick on the street. Sounds in line with the way my life is going right now. I texted her back, "Leave me alone. Don't like you. Don't know you. So lose my number and get a..." Too tired and too drunk to finish that sentence. I'm going to bed. May 15th, 2020. I got one more strange text message from that girl. All she said was, "Why would you hurt me again, Caleb?" Again? When did I hurt her the first time? I tried to apologize and even tried to call the number to do it over the phone and not through text, but the number was disconnected. It was weird, to be sure, but I didn't really give it much thought. She couldn't have been hurt that bad. I'm just some random guy that gave her flowers. Nothing romantic about it. I literally just handed her the flowers as I walked past. I stopped receiving any type of messages after that, but lately, I get the feeling that I'm being watched. I don't want to tell anyone because, well, I don't actually have proof of being watched. Maybe I just need to go to bed. I haven't been sleeping well lately. May 23rd, 2020. I went outside to go for a run and saw a bunch of withered blue flower petals scattered across my front porch. I wonder what they were. There aren't any blue flowers around my place. Actually, there were none on my street that I could see. I kicked them to the gutter as I ran past. The street sweeper should be by tomorrow to sweep it all up. When I came back home, a pile of blue-colored mulch was sitting on my doorstep. It was the flower petals that I had kicked to the curb. Why would someone do that? I swept them up and threw them in the garbage. That feeling of being watched is intensifying. I can't really pinpoint who is watching me, but I'm starting to feel like everybody is watching me. I know, that sounds crazy, but I still can't shake the feeling. January 8th, 2021. I haven't written in this journal in quite some time. I know I am being stalked, but no one will believe me. And I finally know who it is, but it can't be. The other day I received a letter from the person that was stalking me. They told me that we were finally going to be together on Valentine's this year. With the letter, they included a picture of themselves with me. It was a picture of my best friend and I in high school. It was Valentine's Day, and I had given her a box of candy. She was my best friend, and I wanted her to know that I loved her. But the thing was, I wasn't in love with her. It was my fault. Maybe I misled her. She started getting super clingy the whole day, and when she brought up us going out like it was solidified with my giving her the gift, I had to tell her the truth. I let her down as gently as I could, but I could tell she was devastated. She left me a voicemail saying that it was my fault that her heart was broken and asked if I was happy now. I heard from her parents that she committed suicide later that night. It took me years to forgive myself for her death. She blamed me. I blamed myself as well. Still do. But she's dead. She can't be the one that's stalking me. I tried showing the police the letter she had written and the picture of us that was sent, but they just looked at me like I was crazy. They said that the paper I was showing them was blank. I looked at it dumbfounded. It was not blank when I received it. How could this have happened? I see her, in the shadows, staring at me. She's coming for me. She wants me to be with her on Valentine's Day.
February 15th, 2021. Patient number 03842, Marsden, Caleb. Time of death, 2200 hours, 2/14/2021. A brief note by Dr. Brenda Wool. Caleb Marsden has been a patient at the Padwood Mental Facility for the Criminally Insane for approximately 4 years and 6 months. He was initially admitted into the facility for the murder of his high school friend, Camille Lowry. At his initial intake, I observed him as being very erratic, denying the murder of his friend and insisting that she had taken her own life. After the erratic behavior, he fell into an almost catatonic state, with random and unprovoked fits of violent outburst of the same erratic behavior as he exhibited in intake. Though intensive therapy and medications had been administered to Mr. Marsden over the years, his mental state seemed to have stagnated in this catatonic, then randomly manic state. A year ago, Mr. Marsden started showing signs of heavy delusions, speaking as if he were leading a normal life. Reading through Mr. Marsden's journal, I believe he has been experiencing a severe form of delusional disorder. He has been writing about being stalked by the girl he had murdered. Mr. Marsden was found dead in his room at 10 p.m. on February 14th, coincidentally the exact day and time he murdered his friend. Located on Mr. Marsden's body at the time of his death was a picture of him and Camille. I have asked all of the staff, and no one knows how the picture made its way into the facility. A full report will be drafted once investigations are completed.